Agoraphobia. Let's talk about it. What is that? Well, I didn't know what it was until earlier this year, even though I have struggled with it since childhood. Agoraphobia seems to be very misunderstood by the general public because I was one of the people who thought agoraphobic people were afraid to leave their house. And I've learned that it can absolutely get to that point, but that's not what agoraphobia is. So what is it? Agoraphobia is the fear of having a panic attack in a situation that you feel you can't escape. There seem to be a lot of common triggers for agoraphobia, such as public transit, standing in lineups, sometimes big open spaces. Agoraphobia is not something you're born with, it's something that is developed over time. It's a phobia, it's an irrational fear. So at some point you have trauma, and then that trauma becomes this festering ball of anxiety, and eventually it turns into a phobia. My agoraphobia started out when I was in particular situations as a child, specifically when I was around other families and like in situations where I felt like I couldn't escape. So car rides, like road trips, even sitting at a dinner table, going to bed at night, having to just like stay in my bed, especially if there were other people in the room. This was so difficult for me, and I understand now why those things caused me a lot of anxiety, but I'm not going to go into that right now. But because I had these anxious feelings in those particular situations, eventually they just got worse and worse and worse to the point where I dreaded those situations, and even thinking about those situations would cause me to have like panic attacks. As I grew up, more things were added to the list of triggers. Riding public transit was huge. I remember having a job that was about an 8-minute bus ride away, but it was like an hour-long walk, and I'd walk to work because I didn't want to get on the bus for 8 minutes. So everybody seems to experience anxiety and panic attacks a little bit differently. For me, the biggest, most awfulest symptom of being panicked or anxious is like extreme nausea, to the point where I will like gag or dry heave. Super cute. And it's also paired with like tingly fingers, heart racing, palms weak, arms are heavy, mom spaghetti. It's just a bad time. Anyway, lots of other triggers. Anytime I got my hair cut, sometimes being at a restaurant, standing in a line, if I had to have like a meeting at the bank or something and I had to just like sit there and be a human, like this would all trigger these panic attacks. And I'm laughing and I'm making jokes about it, but in all seriousness, this has been a really big problem for me. It's been terrible. The biggest and most important part of my life that my agoraphobia has affected is my job. I am a professional performer, and I experience horrible attacks on stage. Most of the time it's before going on stage, but in the worst experiences I've had, it's happened in the middle of performances. But here's the thing with agoraphobia. Because I feel like I'm being so ridiculous, and I know that it's totally irrational, I don't tell anyone. And I haven't told anyone since I was a kid. In fact, this is the first time I'm really talking about it, certainly the first time on the internet, because what I've learned is the only cure for agoraphobia is to stop internalizing and to stop hiding it. Here's a video of me having a panic attack. I'm performing my children's show, and you would never know because I've gotten so good at masking and pretending that everything is fine. But on the inside, I was freaking the hell out. I started off this video, I was gonna explain what agoraphobia was. Did I do an effective job of that? I don't know. Anyway, the point is, I have agoraphobia. I've had it most of my life, and I'm gonna start talking about it because it's the only way that I can combat it. And if you are struggling with agoraphobia, I just want you to know that it's a real thing, and it might seem stupid, but it's not, and I understand. And let me know in the comments if I've said anything that you can like relate to, and let me know if you want to hear some stories, and let me know if you're interested in learning more things about it and about the things surrounding it. I'm going to continue on with my career, and when I'm having a panic attack and when I'm feeling super anxious and I'm having these agoraphobic episodes, I'm gonna talk about it, and I'm gonna be really annoying, and I just yeah, because it's what I need. I need to be able to talk about it. It's the only thing that cures it. So let me know if you're interested and want to learn more about this super fun topic. Okay, bye.